The EPA says the air inside homes can be more polluted than the outdoor air in the biggest, most industrialized cities in the country. I walked outside to water my garden. I was out there maybe 10 minutes. And when I came back in, my house smelled awful. I just stood there thinking, how did I not notice that? I'd been in it all day. And here's the part nobody tells you. Your nose stops reporting on anything it's been smelling for a while. It just quits on you. That's why you can walk into somebody else's house and smell it in 2 seconds, but you can't smell your own home. And if your house smells clean right now, that's not proof of anything. That clean smell, somebody sold that to you. I'm Stacy Paulsen. I've got 6 kids and I've spent over 16 years figuring out what's actually worth changing in a home to make it healthier and what's just noise. And today I'm going to walk you through my real house, not a staged version. I'm going to show you what I've changed, and I'm also going to show you the stuff that I still haven't fixed, because there's plenty, but first I want you to know why I care about this at all. The EPA says the air inside homes can be more polluted than the outdoor air in the biggest, most industrialized cities in the country. And we spend about 90% of our time indoors. Now, here's the number that I want you to actually remember. The EPA ran a study looking at about a dozen common pollutants, and they found them at 2 to 5 times higher levels inside homes than outside. And it didn't matter if the home was out in the country or maybe right next to a factory. Same story, 2 to 5 times. That's a lot. You're going to see people online say it's 100 times worse. I'm not going to tell you that because it's not true, but 2 to 5 times is still a lot, especially when you're breathing it all day, every day, in the place where you sleep. So let me tell you about 2 things that happened to me, because together they changed how I see the whole thing. The first one is packaging. I ordered some throw pillows a while back, and I opened that package and the chemical smell was awful. Same thing happened with a rug. Same thing with some baskets that I bought. And I remember thinking, okay, that's really strong right now, but it's not like it stops. Whatever's coming off that pillow on day 1 may still be coming off on day 30, but we just stop noticing it. That's the first thing. And the second one, and this one really bothered me. We moved into this house and I loved it. It's a beautiful home. Nothing looked wrong with it. Nothing smelled wrong. Then my daughter-in-law, she came over and she started having allergy symptoms right there in my living room. We figured out later it was pet dander from animals that we didn't even own. We didn't know it was left behind by the people who lived here before us. We couldn't smell it. It took real cleaning and vacuuming and running an air purifier before she was okay and was able to feel comfortable in our home. So think about those 2 together. With the packages, I could smell it and it was there, but then I couldn't smell it, but it was still there. With the dander, I couldn't smell a thing and it was still there. Your nose misses it in both directions. It's not a detector, it's just a nose, and it gets tired. Okay, so let's talk about the things that's probably in your house right now. Fragrance. Here's something most people have no idea about. When you see the word fragrance on a label, that's a legal loophole. Under federal labeling law, fragrance formulas count as trade secrets. So a company can put one word on the package and that covers everything in it. And the FDA is actually barred from making them tell you. They also don't have to prove it's safe before it goes on the shelf. Let me say that a different way. Nobody has to show that it's safe before it ends up in your house. Now, there's a researcher named Ann Steinman who surveyed over 1,000 adults about this. And a third of them said that they had some kind of reaction to fragrance products. And roughly 1 in 6 said they avoid public restrooms because of the air fresheners. And I want to be straight with you about that study because I think that you deserve that. It's a survey. It's people reporting how they feel. It's not a clinical trial. It doesn't prove a mechanism, but there's one finding in there that I can't stop thinking about. They tested products that were labeled green, natural, and organic. And those products gave off hazardous compounds that weren't meaningfully different from the regular ones. But about 3/4 of people assumed that a green label meant it was safer. So we're paying more for the same thing and feeling good about it. Can I tell you my least proud moment? We stayed at an Airbnb and you could smell from the lobby, the halls too, just a wave of chemical air freshener. And then we got into our unit and it was even worse. So I actually walked around and pulled every single plug-in from the wall and I set them out in the hall, all of them. And my family thinks I'm a lot. They're probably right. Now, some of you are thinking, come on, people have used this stuff for decades and everybody's fine. And I want to give you a real answer, not a defensive one. Here's where I actually land. It doesn't have to be proven harmful for me to take it out of my house. I just want to know what the evidence actually says. And then let me make my own call, because we haven't proven it's harmful yet and it's safe are two completely different sentences. And people say them like they mean the same thing. There's a scientist named Claire Patterson. He worked at Caltech and he was trying to figure out how old the Earth is. But his samples kept coming back contaminated with lead over and over. So he went looking for where the lead was coming from. And it turned out it was everywhere. It was in the gas, in the paint, in the air. He spent decades trying to tell people. He lost funding over it. The industry came after him, and a lot of people thought that he was crazy, but he was right. I'm not saying every chemical is lead. That's not the point. The point is that nobody's proven it yet has been wrong before. And listen, if you're not interested in any of this, that's fine, really. My own husband loves his stuff and has zero interest in researching it, and that's his right. You might have something way bigger on your plate right now. No judgment for me. But if you are interested, come walk through my house. Okay, so the front door, shoes come off. That's it. That's the whole rule, and it's free. Whatever's on the bottom of your shoes is now in your carpet, and then it's in the air, potentially pesticides, lead, and harmful bacteria. The laundry room, no fabric softener. I use vinegar, wool dryer balls instead of dryer sheets, and I've never used scented beads. One summer, my son's friend stayed with us and he used them, and I'm telling you, it was the strongest chemical smell I have ever been around in my life. The kitchen. So we have a nice Wolf gas stove, which naturally off gases when it's on from burning natural gas. Replacing it would cost a fortune, and I love it. So instead I run that vent fan, or I have my air purifier on every time. There's research out from Stanford showing gas stoves measurably raise the nitrogen dioxide inside your home, even in the bedroom, within an hour of you cooking. So what does nitrogen dioxide do indoors? It inflames your airways, makes you more susceptible to infections, and affects kids' lungs development. The vent fan and or an air purifier is the difference. Also in there, no toxic nonstick pans. And I still have plastic containers in my pantry, I do, because when somebody comes over and I want to send food home with them, I don't want my good glass walking out the door. And it's kind of a hassle for them to bring it back. I just never put anything hot in the plastic. Let that cool down first. That's the realistic version. Okay, the bathroom. Cotton shower curtain instead of a vinyl kind. And I scan hair products, personal care products before they come into our house now. The bedroom. So cotton sheets instead of microfiber, because those flash off microplastics that we breathe in all night long. And I finally looked up what our pillows were actually made of, which I'd never once thought about. Okay, the furnace. Filter gets changed every 6 months. My husband puts it on his calendar, and honestly, that's the only reason it happens. The garage. Okay, this one surprised me. Attached garages are a way bigger deal than people realize. Whatever's in there seeps through that shared wall into your house. Ours is a little bit lower risk because we have electric things. We drive electric cars. We have an electric mower. So there's no gas cans sitting in there. And the paint and the solvents, those are stored on the far wall away from the house. And if you've got an attached garage with some gas cans or a gas car in it, that's really worth thinking about. Now the basement, radon. And radon is different from everything else in this video. This one isn't a maybe. It's well established, you can't smell it or see it, and it's cheap to test for. We tested here and we were fine. But at our last house with low levels, I decided to put in a mitigation system anyway because our kids slept down there. And if you're in Utah or an area like that, the ground shifts, so it's worth retesting every few years. A clean test from a decade ago doesn't tell you much. Now I want to show you the other side because I think this part actually matters. My daughter loves doing her nails. She's got the gel polish and the little UV light, that lamp. And I know that that's not the greatest thing to have in my house, and probably for her. It's still here because she loves it. Our mattresses haven't been replaced. Mattresses are expensive, but when the time comes, we'll look into that. And there's carpet in parts of our house that I would love to pull up and put in hardwood, but it's staying for now because that's a big project and a big check. And I don't have a single house plant because I've forgotten to water every single plant that I've owned. So if you're watching somebody's video and their house looks finished and perfect, one of two things is happening. They're leaving stuff out or they're selling you something. This took me years. It's still not done. It's work in progress, and that's fine. So here's what I do this week. There are two things and they're both free. Take your shoes off at the door. Starting today, costs nothing. And then go around and get rid of your plugins, your sprays, the wax melts, the car thing hanging off your mirror. And I know what you're thinking because I thought it too. You spent money on that. You did. And it served its purpose. It's a sunk cost, you can let it go. Or if throwing things out makes you crazy, do it the slow way. Don't throw away anything. Just when the detergent runs out, buy a different one. You were going to buy detergent anyway. Now, if you want to know what I actually bought first, way back when I started, it was actually a diffuser and a few essential oils. That's actually how this whole healthy home idea started for me. And I'm telling you that last after the free stuff because I don't want you to think that there's a price of entry into a non-toxic lifestyle. It isn't, but it did solve about 4 things all at once for me. It got rid of the candles, air fresheners, and the plugins. And eventually I was making my own room sprays, personal care products, and cleaners with those same oils. Here's the part I didn't expect though, and this is the thing I want to leave with you. The more I took out of my home, the more my nose came back. Things I couldn't smell at all a few years ago are obvious to me now. I can walk into a building and tell you there's mold. I can smell a plug-in from the next room. In fact, I have this box sitting in our utility room for videos like this, of many of the things that we removed from our home, and the fragrant mist of chemicals is what I notice first. It's funny when I go shopping with my kids now and pass the cleaning aisle, my kids will say how strong and bad it smells. So you're not just cleaning up your air, you're getting your sense of smell back. And then you can actually tell what's going on around you. I made you a 1-page room by room with what to swap and what to keep, and it's free, it's linked below. And if this is helpful, subscribe because I do this every week. Now here's where most people go next, and it's the reason the next video exists. You pull out all of your plugins and then you go buy a candle. And there's a whole story around candles that almost nobody has actually checked. The thing everybody repeats about them traces back to one presentation that was never peer-reviewed, and the researchers themselves said they couldn't draw conclusions from it. That one's coming up next, and I'll see you there.